Hello fellow Chima fans, I am the Lion Soldier and welcome to this week's video. Today I'll share with you some interesting places from Chima that you likely never heard about. Information I'll share with you today comes straight from the Book of Chi. Now, I tried my best to translate the texts well, but there still may be some mistakes as I don't really speak French. For start, let me read you the book's intro to the topic titled The Unknown Corners of Chima. Chima is an astonishing kingdom, beginning with a mountain suspended in the air, from which gushes a cherished spring. But Mount Kavora is not the only wonder of this world. To travel here, it's best to familiarize yourself with Chima's other territories, even if you haven't yet discovered them all. I think that's a nicely written opening, so we can move to the places never shown in the series itself. First one is called Ravine of Echoes. Here's what the book says about it. This path winds its way through the rocky terrain of the northern mountains. If you're careful, this shortcut can save you 3 days on a mountain crossing. All the secrets confined in the ravine remain there forever, and its walls repeat them in echoes. I think that this place takes a nice part in showing us the mythical aspect of Chima. Having a place like that in a fantasy world is really neat, and I would love to walk through this corridor. And it also shows how big Chima actually is, since it saves you 3 days on crossing the northern mountains. I'm just a bit sad that we haven't seen most of places like this one in the series. Next place on our list is the Wandering Forest. Here's what the book says about it. Does it really move, or am I dreaming? A traveler might ask, faced with this strange phenomenon. How do you explain the fact that the forest is in a different place every day? The name Wandering Forest fits perfectly. The forest moves from one place to another, but only at night. This happens so slowly that an observer might not notice it until morning. Sometimes the forest moves several kilometers, and all the creatures in it have to go with it to avoid waking up in a desert. It is assumed that these trees were originally the vegetation of the outlands. Having absorbed chi through their roots, they evolved. Compared to their flesh-eating cousins, these plants are not aggressive and feed like any other flower, with air and soil. The Wandering Forest doesn't appear on any map of Chima, as it's in different place every day. Most of Chima animals have never actually seen it. Now this is truly incredible. Not only it shows us again how big Chima is, but more importantly, we finally know how chi affects plants. I wonder what else can these ant creatures do, and why are they moving only at night? Are they trying to hide themselves? So many unanswered questions we can only argue about. I am a bit sad about the picture provided by the book though, as I think that so much more could have been shown here. I feel like that even this picture of what I assume was meant to be the outlands would make more sense here. But the forest definitely has a lot of potential in untold stories and Chima's myths. I myself like to picture a gorilla explorer who takes a nap in the evening and wakes up at night to find himself in a desert environment surrounded only by a beautiful night sky. The next place isn't that much of a place, but I thought I will tell you about it nonetheless. It's called the Mist of Oblivion. Here's what the book tells us about it. Parts of Chima's jungle are shrouded in a mysterious, thick fog that sometimes spreads to the rest of the kingdom. The Mist of Oblivion. Anyone immersed in this thick cloud immediately forgets their fears and their worries. This can be good or bad, as many return from the mist changed forever. Others have never even emerged. This had a bit of a dark turn, but it is still interesting what Chima never showed us. I don't think that many of Chima's inhabitants ever met the fog. It may even work as a story you would tell your kids so they won't go to the jungle by themselves. And lastly, let me tell you a bit about the Gorge of Eternal Dept, for the book uncovered some interesting lore here. At the edge of the jungle, a row bridge crosses the Gorge of Eternal Dept. No one knows its true depth, and no one wants to go and see. Mysterious growls and whispers rise from the gorge, and even the bravest warriors tremble. If you ever come across this gorge, change your path. But it won't be easy, for this gorge is surrounded by the fangs. Do these sharp, awkward rocks resemble the teeth of a huge beast outreaching from the ground, or simply strange, sharp rocks? The mystery remains, but the ancient tribes who lived near the fangs worship the mysterious beast as a god. Though the bridge across the gorge sounds interesting, I want to talk about something different. Did you hear the last sentence? The ancient tribes who lived near the fangs worship the mysterious beast as a god? And who are the ancient tribes of Chima? That's right, the hunters. They even live near the gorge, as this is what Sir Fanga says before the hunters rises from its depths.
Ancient sea This is where our great temple was swallowed by the Gorge. This is where we fell, and this is where we shall rise again!
So now that we made clear that the book is definitely talking about the hunters, we can start speculations about their religion. Though I would leave this one to you guys in the comments. I'm really interested what you all think about this. And if you would like part 2 about Chima's hidden places, be sure to leave a like, as the book has plenty more to offer. That is unfortunately all we have time for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and that you'll stumble upon my channel once again. But until then, have a great life.